Hello everyone. We're going to discuss coordinate geometry today, and I'm just making my line, my coordinate plane. So I hope you know about the Cartesian plane already. It has x and y axes, which is labeled 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, minus 1, minus 2, 3, minus 4, minus 1, minus 2, minus 3, minus 4. And so some quick terminology we're going to use in this tutorial is that this is a y-axis. Y-axis means this whole line. The x-axis is this whole line, and the y-axis also continues down and here too. So the y and x-axes. Okay. And these are, this is the coordinate plane, Cartesian plane. So this whole thing is the Cartesian plane. This is the first quadrant. Second quadrant. Third quadrant. And fourth quadrant. And in the first quadrant, all of the things are positive, both coordinates. The second quadrant has a positive, negative, positive. Third has negative, negative. And the fourth has positive and negative. And something to keep in mind is that, just to clarify, we write the x-axis and then the y-axis while writing down the notation. Okay, with that out of the way, we can now make a new coordinate plane right there, and another one, the other axis, and we just always put the arrows both sides and always label the axis. Okay, so we can quickly draw in all of these. So today we're going to start off with gradients. Then the distance, midpoint, and finally some practice. So we're going to have this basic example for today, for now. At a 45-degree angle, there's this line. Okay, and it's passing through the origin. Oh yeah, always remember to label the origin with a circle. And we can take any 2 points in this. Okay, I'm just gonna take point 1, 1 and 3, 3. The first way we're gonna learn how to find the gradient is by writing the vertical step by horizontal step. So here, what would be the vertical step? It takes 2 steps. So one step goes there and the second step here. 2 steps up So the vertical step would be 2. And the horizontal step would be also 1 and 2. So here, if we just plug in the values 2 by 2, and we can simplify that to 1, the gradient is 2 by 2, which is 1. This is method 1. Now, if I just make a new page and we draw a new coordinate grid, oh, should be white. Right there. And another one right there. And if we again label all of it, two, three, four, five, minus 1, minus 2, minus 3, minus 4, minus 5, minus 1, minus 2, 5. And again, we draw the same line from there, right through the middle, up there. And the origin. So here we can find the gradient with another way. So what are we doing basically when we count up? So the new form, I'll first introduce the new formula to you. It's y1, y2 minus y1 by x2 minus x1. And we can also write this as delta y by delta x. It can be either. This basically means the difference in y's by the difference in x, and that's what we're doing here. The points you pick for y and x don't matter, so we're picking 3, 3 here, and 3, 3, 1, 1 here. So basically the gradient 1 means we take one step up and one step to the side to get to the next whole point. So here, what are we basically doing when we find the vertical step and the horizontal step to 3, 3? We're basically subtracting 3 from 0, it takes 3 steps to go up to 3, to 3y. And then we're just subtracting 3 from 1 to get just this part of the vertical step. And from 0x to 3x, it also takes 3 steps, but again, we're subtracting 3 from 1 from 3, sorry, to get just this part. So again, this one's a bit messy. It doesn't matter which x1 and y1 you choose, because let's say I choose this as x2 and this as x1, and the same for y2 and y1. I can just plug in the values. Y2 is 1 minus 3 by x2 is 1 minus x1 is 3. I get minus 2 by minus 2, which simplifies to 1. And if I do it the other way around, 3 minus 1 by 3 minus 1, I also get 2 by 2, which is 1. So either which way, it doesn't matter. That's the second way to find out. And so basically those are the two ways to find the gradient. Now we'll learn how to find the distance, as I stated here. Gradients, and then now the distance. We finished gradients and now we're doing the distance. To find the distance, so the distance formula is d equals square root of x2 minus x1 squared, all squared, plus y2 minus y1 all squared. What this basically means is, again, you can pick anything for x2 and x1. So let's say we pick 1, 1 and 3, 3. We can just plug in the values, which is going to be 3, no, it's, so 1 minus 3 squared plus 1 minus 3 squared. What we can do here is now simplify it into minus 2 squared plus minus 2 squared. And we're just going to use this and solve it a bit more to the side. Now the d is going to be square root of minus 2 squared is 4 plus minus 2 squared is 4. And it's going to be d is 4 plus 4, which is the square root of 8. If you don't have a calculator, you can leave it right here, but I'm just going to calculate square root of 8, not 88. And it's about 2.83, rounded to 2 decimal places. And since we don't have any units, we have to always write just units. We're not going to write centimeters, but this time at least we have to write units. So it's 2.83 units approximately, or you could just leave it at square root of 8. And so, yeah, that's the distance formula covered. We have now covered the distance formula, and we're going to move on to the midpoint. So we just erase everything here. Okay, and we redraw stuff, which we have erased. Oh, just white, and back there, back there. Okay. And so, sorry, yeah. So we just erase that. We write that minus 3, minus 4, minus 5, minus 6, and minus 7, and also that part. Okay, the midpoint formula, again, we're going to take the same 2 points, and it's going to be right there. So we know the midpoint is 2, 2, which is right there. So we know the midpoint but we're going to use a formula to figure out that it's 2.2 and see if it's right. So the formula for the midpoint is the midpoint is x1 plus x2 by 2 comma y1 plus y2 by 2. So that's the formula. Now we just again put in the points, and it's going to be 1 plus 3 by 2 comma 1 plus 3 by 2. which is 4 by 2, comma 4 by 2. And if we simplify the fractions, you just get 2 comma 2, which is what we found out here for the midpoint. So we can now say that the midpoint 2 comma 2 right there is correct. So it's all right. And so that's what we had to learn for now. So we're done with all the portions. Now I'm gonna give you some practice